I'm Adam Calaway. We're at the Grow Safe Noble Foundation booth at 2014 NCBA conference. I'm here with Patti Buck. Patti's going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in the industry right now. One of the big topics happening is McDonald's that came out and said that they were going to do verifiable, sustainable beef by 2016. Well, let's talk about sustainability. What does that mean to you?
Well, as a producer, I think many of our ranchers are fifth and sixth generation ranchers, and you wouldn't be in business today if you weren't sustainable. You take care of the land, you take care of your livestock, your water, your resources, because if you have none of those, you're out of business.
You know, sustainability, the definition has sort of changed through the generations. What do you think that definition means now to the consumer?
Well, I think the consumer is really influenced by what they see on TV and see in movies, you know, those movies that are out there and stuff like that. So I think they're really influenced by a lot of activist groups, and they don't even really know what sustainability means, in my opinion.
So what does sustainability mean?
I think it's when you leave the land better than you found it, you take care of it, you continue to use it, and you don't have to worry about, you're not destroying anything. If we destroyed the land, we'd all be out of business, like I said. So,
how are you in your particular operation? What are you doing to be sustainable?
Oh, we maintain our ditches. We have to have practices in line with our gated pipe and everything like that, because if you erode your soil, you got to replace all that. So you have to really take care of your landscape, your animals, and your water.
So there's a company out there, a taco company, that keeps making ads that portray agriculture as a factory. How do you respond when you see something like that as a producer?
Well, I always tell people they get the impression of corporate, and most small farm operations like myself, my husband and myself are a corporation because of tax purposes. So what we do is I tell people, I said, I'm a corporation. There's two of us, in our household. I said, but we're a family operation. It's a family farm. Also, 97% of all the farms and ranches in this country are all family owned and operated.
One of the key elements that you see fall out of those commercials, and the key elements really to agricultural producers, is animal welfare. Can you discuss a little bit about animal welfare in your operation?
Well, in my operation, we take excellent care of all of our animals. We don't give them any antibiotics or anything unless they're ill. If your child is ill, you take them to the doctor, you give them an antibiotic. I said 99% of the time they're out there eating grass and raising calves, and we check on them constantly to make sure they are healthy. But if you have an issue, if you've got an infection, they've got, poked with something, yeah, you take care of it. You give them a little shot of, antibiotic to take care of it like you would anybody else.
Let's go to economics just a little bit. The idea that this is the cow herd has shrunk 6 consecutive years, smallest cow herd we've had since 1952, yet we're still producing the same amount of beef, actually more beef. How are we doing that?
We're more efficient than we've ever been. We are raising better cattle, healthy cattle. We're actually taking better care of our cattle to get them to a larger size. And we're just more efficient at what we do, because economics, we have less resources, we have less land, we have less water. Just the cost of raising a head of cattle anymore today, you have to do more with less.
Well, discuss that, because how much more does it cost to raise one head of cattle this year than it would 10 years ago?
It's all based on labor, economics. If you have a foreman working for you, if you're working the ranch yourself, fuel costs go up every year, water resources and all that. Everything goes up every single year. And we've been struggling. Every rancher I know has been out there struggling for years. And finally, we're at a point where we are seeing a little bit better prices at the market and stuff like that. But of course, everything goes up. Fence posts go up. To build a fence goes up. Your labor goes up. Everything continues to go up. So we're never, ever ahead of the game, ever.
So why do you do it?
We love it. Love the lifestyle. Just waking up on a ranch in the morning and looking at your cattle and your horses and the green grass. And I used to live in the city, and if I had to choose, I'll choose the ranch over the city any day.
Well, a couple quick questions about technology. Do you have a smartphone?
Yes, I do.
Do you use any livestock-related apps?
Yeah, Cattlefax. Check Cattlefax, and check the prices, check fuel costs, you check grain prices and stuff like that. So it's a great resource to use. And just like, why would you not use any resource that's going to help you in your business?
So with the data that you're getting from that, are you able to make decisions based off the data? Is it a little bit of it? Is it still a lot of intuition and experience?
A lot of intuition and experience. I mean, anytime anybody tells you what the market's going to do, you have to take it with a grain of salt, but they do have a lot of history. So you kind of go with your own history and what they say, and weather affects the markets too. So you just kind of put all that together and go with your gut.
What, if you could measure one thing or have a little bit of more data off of one particular area, what would it be in your operation?
I think Mother Nature is the biggest mystery in all of our lives. If we could all predict, we've been in a drought. Most of the country has suffered drought over the years, in and out, and that really just makes or breaks you right there. So if we could predict the weather, it's unpredictable, so you can't. But if I had a wish, that would be it.
Well, last two questions here, Patti. Favorite cut of meat and favorite recipe that you feed your kids and feed your family?
I love a good ribeye. I think it's the marbling and the flavor, you can't beat it. And I do a lot of cooking and stuff like that, so we always use one of the 29 lean cuts of beef. And I can cook a single piece of steak probably 200 different ways. So.
Well, last question is, if you could tell the consumers in America one thing, what would you tell them?
I think that beef is probably the most nutritious package of any protein that you can get, with the zinc, iron, protein, riboflavins, all the beef vitamins that you get. You can get so much more out of that piece of steak than you could out of anything else, soy, peanut butter, chicken, everything else. But and it tastes a heck of a lot better.
Patti, thank you for being here on Cattle Chat Corner.